We're live.
It says we're live on
There we
air.
are.
Yay! Hopefully people are watching us. Hello, people.
Hello.
We're here with me. I'm Angie from Shameless Book Club. And we're also here with Colleen, who is down here. Say hello, Colleen.
Hello, Colleen.
Colleen has to say something for us to be able to hear her.
I heard her.
You can't hear me? I said hi.
I heard her.
Okay.
Should I talk louder?
People behind me.
You couldn't hear her?
Yes. Okay, I can hear now. Yay! This is not my first time doing this, but it may seem like it. Just saying, because they like to change things around. Okay, so we are here because Colleen Hoover is big and fancy, and she wrote another book. I don't know, this is like number 38. How many have you written?
I think it's 13.
Oh, okay, so I was close.
8.
13 books, and November 9, or do you say it's November 9th? I mean, it says it's November 9.
9, yeah.
You say 9.
You don't
okay.
say the TH?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so November 9, which I had
It's
the
just
pleasure of reading. Sorry, people. That's just like my job. I have to read things ahead.
We hate you for it. Don't worry.
I know.
I finished it today, so we're all good.
Well, I got to read it, and it is so good. I'm just saying, it is really good. Like, if you like Hopeless, it's a little dirtier than Hopeless. If you like Ugly Love, it's around that kind of dirty. So if you were really into Tate getting it, you're going to like this book. Because
she's getting dirtier and dirtier. I love it.
Oh,
That's funny because I've been telling everyone this one is very tame compared to all my other books.
I thought it was tame compared to Ugly Love.
It
is.
is.
Fake as black.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was tame compared to maybe Someday.
Well,
I
okay.
mean, prettier. If you're not just talking about like sex, then I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I think it's on the lines of maybe Someday. I would
Yeah.
say it's along those lines. So.
Yeah, I think Ugly Love was maybe the dirtiest, which I kind of love.
Yeah.
Your mom's permission.
It doesn't have to be dirty for me to love it, but I just love that. You know, whatever. So November 9th is coming out. Excuse me, November 9 is coming out on Tuesday, November 10th. Why did that happen, Colleen? Why didn't you just have your publisher change the dates?
They said they couldn't. I know.
I know.
But all publishers release on a Tuesday. It has to do with like sales and when bookstores release things. So they have to release on Tuesdays, and unfortunately it was the 10th. I originally picked November 9 because I was going to self-publish it a year ago before I wrote it. Like I was planned on writing it like 2 years ago, but just kept writing other stuff instead. And that was going to be, I was going to publish it on November 9th. So when I signed it with the publisher, it just didn't work out that way, but I didn't want to change the title.
I love it. Works for me.
Is that the only tie-in that the date has with the book? I haven't read it yet, so I'm not sure.
No, the date plays a huge part of the book.
Yeah, the date is like central to the whole story. It being actually November 9th, I don't think makes a difference. It could have been.
Yeah, it could have been any date, but without spoiling anything, the two characters meet on that date for the first time, and so they agree to meet up every year on that date because circumstances prevent them from being together. So it just happens to be the day. Like each chapter is a different November 9th.
Very cool. Awesome.
Do we see what happens in the year that they're apart from each other?
No.
Or do we only see the times that they meet?
Only see the times they're together.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, she kind of like explains like there's like a little summary in their conversations.
Yeah, I don't feel
get
like
caught up enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So does anyone have Any pressing questions for Miss Colleen that they want to get out of the way and make sure they get asked?
I have questions.
Okay.
Amy has a
Go
list of
ahead.
I came up with a little list because I didn't want to be gawking and
Overachiever
awkward.
here.
I know, no, obsessive compulsive disorder, like really.
Oh, it works for me. Go ahead.
So,
I don't even know where my post-its are to make a list, so let's hear it.
I have a couple that first of all, do you have a book boyfriend? What?
That's a tough one. People ask me that all the time, but and do you mean like from my books or just from books in general?
In general.
I mean, there's just a lot. It just depends on which book I read recently. Like, of course, one of my favorites is Josh from Sea of Tranquility, but
Oh, let's have a moment. I need a moment. I need a moment. Sea of Tranquility. Oh,
I love
Has
him.
anyone here read
I
that?
like a good guy.
all right,
Huh?
my moment's over. Go ahead.
But you know, I just finished Hidden Bodies by Carolyn Kepnes, and that guy is effed up, but I love him. So that's a little dark.
I can't wait for that one.
It sounds like it.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Did you
Yeah.
see April's question? Oh, you saw
Yes,
it.
April has a question. April is here, but she's a ghost. She wants to know, do you have any advice for up-and-coming authors or anyone who is a new editor, somebody who's new to editing?
Advice for an editor? That I've never been asked that question before. I have no idea. I mean, I don't edit. So.
What do you
otherwise
like?
you would edit.
What's something that you get out of working with your editor that you would like to see in
You know what I
others?
really love, and not a lot of editors do this. This is something that a couple of my beta readers do, but as they're reading the book and they're making notes, like they do their corrections like editors would do, but there's a couple of them that will do their thoughts while they're reading, like what they think the plot twist is going to be several chapters away and what they think's about to happen. And it just really helps me as a writer because then I'm in the mind of the reader because I never know, like, am I doing too much foreshadowing and I'm not doing enough? And so when they're making those notes and I'm seeing where their thoughts are going during each scene, it just really helps a lot.
Oh, that's a good idea, to give an idea of what you think's going to happen.
Well, let me beta read because that's how I do my reviews on Goodreads. You should read my comments. You know my progress comments?
Oh, I do.
Amy's
I
here to get a job.
I stalk the status updates on Goodreads for this book. And I know a lot of authors like try to stay away from Goodreads, but I love it. I love to see what people are thinking as they go. And there have been a lot put on there today, so it's been really fun.
What are you hearing that people are liking? What's something that you're glad that people are getting from it?
I don't know. Like I was kind of worried over. I don't want to give anything away, but I was kind of worried overall that they wouldn't be convinced about the Insta love. Like I'm not real big on Insta love. It's happened in a couple of my books, but this one was really hard because you're only focusing on one day and a few hours they're together every year, and that was the hardest thing for me, was to make that connection believable. And so far, I haven't seen anything negative about that. Like everyone's even commented, like, I hate Insta love, but this was very very believable, very legit. So I'm just really happy with that because that was a
Insta
struggle.
love does happen. I mean, it's not all the time, but yeah, it happens in real life. Not as much as people would want it to, I'm sure. Tinder, you know what that happens on Tinder. Anybody else have a good question that they want to ask?
Colleen, I have a question for you. I notice all the books in your office. Do you collect signed books yourself?
Yeah, when I go to signings, I try to buy one, as many as I can. I'm always so busy at the signing, so it just depends on if my assistant has a free moment, then I'll give her money and have her go around and buy some. But do you want to see my office?
Sure.
It's
I
beautiful.
love all the bookshelves.
I mean, on this thing, but I'll give you like a little circle tour. But that leads to a storage room, and then my bookshelves. That wall is mostly my foreign editions. That's all my books, and then these walls are. Let me scoot over here. All my other signed books.
What's in the frames?
And then those are my New York Times things. See if I can get close to one. It's just Atria sends me one when I hit a list.
Oh,
So I gotta show you. Can you see it?
We can see up top.
Wait.
Yeah, what's that Pepsi? What's up there? Oh, that's door.
What is in there?
Ooh, is that your red room?
Oh.
What?
It's like got a chair and a couch. Like I go in there and I shut the door and that's where I write so that my kids don't bother me.
Oh my goodness. That sounds glorious.
That's genius.
Don't
I need
show
one of
it.
those.
Oh my God.
Every day I just wake up and I'm like, how is this my house? How is my life? It's crazy.
It's pretty awesome, I'm sure. Oh, April has another question. If you wrote in a different genre, what would you like to write?
You know, I don't ever start a book out hoping it's going to be a particular genre. I didn't even know that Slammed was a romance. I had never read a romance book. So when I sit down to write, like I'll get a story in mind and I'll just write. And so far the characters have all just been around the same age, so they've considered it new adult. And if you look up new adult on Wikipedia, I'm listed as one of the pioneers of the genre, which is just crazy because I don't even know what new adult is.
It's what you write.
Everyone has an example, so I just like, sure, yeah, new adult. But I just write. You know, if one of these days I'm halfway through a story and aliens come down and invade everyone, then that may happen. I'm not going to say I ain't going to do it because that might happen.
You know what Stephen King said about this kind of thing? People ask him the same question, and he says, well, I never set out to write a horror book. He always says, all of my books start out with, wouldn't it be funny if? And then it goes from there. And, you know, what he ends up writing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
I have a question about the bookworm box.
Oh, yeah.
How did you come up with that? First of all, I think it's amazing, and when I tell people about you, I always say that I love your writing, but as an individual, like kind of your backstory and what you've done with that, and your friends, I mean, I always give your friends and family credit too. I know you do. I think it's amazing. Amazing. So I'm just wondering how you came up with that idea.
You know, when Murphy worked for me, we always would bounce around ideas on what can we do to, you know, utilize the fan base that I have, the numbers, you know, just to help. Because I feel like, I mean, I'm sure y'all know my backstory. Like, this is not how my life has always been. We were living paycheck to paycheck, very poor. And so I just feel like I want to give back. You know, I was a social worker for 7 years, and while I was a social worker, you know, you just wish you could have all the money in the world to help people.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I just couldn't do it on a personal level, on, you know, just me. I couldn't do it on a grand scheme. So we bounced around ideas. I received a subscription box last year for a couple of different things. Like one was a snack box, one was a makeup box, and I just thought it was really cool, and I was like, man, I wish there was a book themed one. And so I came up with the idea early last year, and I was just really busy, and so we never did anything with it. We knew we wanted to call it the Bookworm Box, but I was like, you know, maybe we can do it a few months from now. Well, we never talked about it again, and then early this year, I was talking to my older sister, Lynn, and I was telling her about the idea, and she was like, let's do it. It's going to be easy, you know. Let's just order some books and put these boxes together. And so we did that and launched it fairly quickly. Like, she has really been the backbone behind this whole thing. And it just took off. Like, we didn't expect it to take off like it did. We sold out in 4 minutes the first several months. And then
that's crazy.
It was capped now at $2,000 a month. But
Oh my God.
it's just been incredible. Yeah.
The 2,000. That's a lot. I mean, you know, she said, "Oh, it's easy to do," and then you actually start getting into it.
Yeah, well, we were doing just 400, and even that, like, we were doing it out of my living room, so we didn't have enough room, you know. And so that's when we opened the store, because we had to have retail space, or, you know, just a building to house the charity in. And so we found this retail space, and we were like, oh, let's just extend it into a bookstore since we're going to be paying rent on the building anyway. And yeah, so then it just kept going up every month, and then we had to cap it because, I mean, we're talking 4,000 signed books a month that I have to coordinate with authors, and I do all of that myself. So that, you know, easily takes hours and hours a day to do. So that's why we've capped it at that, because we could probably sell more and bring more for charity, but until we're working right now, we have a couple weeks left until we're an official 501c3, and once that happens, we'll be able to, like, hire on a couple of full-time employees that can, you know, do this and make it bigger. And
that'd be great.
Yeah.
So what do you have in the bookstore, the actual store?
We just have shelves and shelves of signed books. It's like a specialty store where anyone can go in and buy a signed novel. All the books are donated, and all the money goes to charity. So I think we've been doing this since March and have raised $200,000 so far.
God. That's awesome.
It's amazing.
That's really great. See, that's why you were meant to do this.
It's amazing.
It's a really cool store if y'all ever get a chance to go. So.
Yeah.
And it's in Texas.
Worth it. It's worth it. So.
Texas is kind of far.
Yeah.
But I considered it, seriously.
We're pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. Like, we're two hours from Dallas. So, you know, it's a really small town, but it's really cool because every day we have someone coming in there that drove just to come to the store.
Oh, that's
and, you know,
cool.
the store doesn't really make a lot of money. It makes enough money to pay the rent and to pay its own bills. So, you know, nobody makes any money off of it. If anyone was trying to do this for a living and have a store, a bookstore in this town, and no one would be able to survive or feed their family. So,
how they're doing.
Yeah.
Different kind of business, but yeah. Standalone bookstores are having some hard times. You know, not that
we're really lucky that you know it's set up this way that no one makes money off of it, so no one's relying on it to survive. Right. And you know, the money that is made just goes straight back into the charity. So
that's awesome. And which charities are you supporting? We
do different charities every month.
That's good. Awesome. I just had a question. I forgot it. I didn't write it down. That's what happens. Any other questions coming up? Oh, I do have a question. Where, I was just at a signing today. I was at the Indies something. Now I forget. Indies Invade Philly. And it was all indie authors. And there was a huge number, I mean, hundreds of people who were there to see about 20 or 30 authors who are all indie authors. What is it that you like? What is it you like to see at signings that helps you, like, connect with readers? What is something that gets you excited about going to signings?
That's a good one. I just really love signings in general. I've never really experienced a bad one, to be honest with you. They're all set up differently. Different bloggers do them different ways, but I've just really enjoyed all of them, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think if there's anything I don't like. Well, maybe that'll help me think of things that I do like.
I'll just put it out there because I'm having a signing next October in Orlando. Shameless Book Club. If I speak, it'll be good. Shameless Book Con in October in Orlando. So if anybody wants to go, woo, woo. So we're planning that now. We've got invites to authors, but so we're looking. We've been to so many signings ourselves, and we've talked to authors that we know and love, and they tell us that.
I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to interrupt with you. Interrupt you, but. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but right when this indie revolution started, there were no signings, and me and a couple of other people put together the very first indie signing in Chicago, and I think I paid like $1,000 for the room rental, and then I just had all the authors give me like $50 each to pay for that room rental. we didn't charge the readers anything to get in. And I think that would be one thing I wish was still happening. I feel like a lot of people are doing this to make a lot of money and make a living, and these indie authors don't make anything. When you go, like, I didn't make anything. I still don't. I'm out $2,000, $3,000 every time I go to a signing because I'm paying for my own room. I'm paying $250 to $300 for a table to sign. The readers are paying, you know, sometimes upwards of $40, $50 just to go. And so where's all this money, you know, going? I know that a lot of them are doing more and more things that cost money, but I kind of wish people would keep in mind that these indie authors are not really making enough money to survive and travel and do these signings. So I wish that authors weren't charged to set up. Yeah, or charged, you know, a reasonable fee, but you know, they're already paying for their flights, they're already paying for their hotel, they're paying for their food, they're paying for now $250, $300 a table, and you may walk away making $100, $200 off of selling your books. You know?
Yeah.
And so I just feel like people need to keep that in mind, that these authors, you know, it's hard. It's hard to go and do these signings when you can't afford it.
Yeah, that was one thing that I when we started planning ours, that we wanted to make sure that the costs, you know, for everybody was down, especially the readers who are coming, because, you know, we want them to spend money on books from the authors. The authors make some money.
Right.
We also, you know, we have to balance out the cost of the space and having it in a place where people can access easily. So, you know, there's a whole bunch of money stuff that goes into it from a planning standpoint. So we, you know, we're consciously making an effort to keep every cost as low as possible, and still come out with nobody, you know, being bankrupt. So, what's anybody else have any good questions or questions?
I have one more.
Oh, go ahead.
I just was wondering how long. I know. I do. I just wanted to know how. This is my last one, I think. How long did it take you to write Slammed? Like in hours or weeks or months or what? I mean, I kind of know how it happened. Maybe others don't, but
here's the breakdown of how long it takes me to write books. When I wrote Slammed, I worked 11-hour days, and I did a lot of writing at work because my boss wanted to read the chapters as I was writing them, so she would see some of my clients, but then I would go, you know, after I would get home, I would stay up till 2 in the morning and write, and then get up at 6 in the morning and go to work. I mean, it was a constant thing. For 30 days, I would say I wrote at least 12 hours a day.
Oh my God.
And I didn't have a following. I didn't have, you know, anything else I had to do. Nothing was on top of it. No interviews, anything. So I had the time to write, and all my focus was on writing. And so by the, you know, now I probably spend the same amount of hours writing a book. Oh, Slam took me about a month and a half to write, with, you know, working 12 hours a day on it. But now it takes me several months to write a book. Sometimes I can work on a book for an entire year before I really feel like it's done. And but I feel like I spend the same amount of time on it. It's just I have way less time. Like sometimes I only write 4 days a month because I'm so busy traveling and doing other stuff. So, but I'll write like 4 days straight with 5 hours of sleep, you know. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question from somebody who just messaged me on Facebook. She asked, do you have anything on your agenda self-publishing wise besides Never Never?
I don't. I'm under contract with my publisher, so I'm not allowed to publish anything, to self-publish anything. The only reason why I did Never Never with Taryn is because at the time I was free to do a novella, and so that's what Taryn and I did. But yeah, right now I can't until I still owe them one more book, and we haven't signed a contract for anything beyond that. So who knows what I'm going to do after this next book.
So we'll see after that book.
Speaking of Never Never, you know my question is, right?
January 26th is the release date for that.
When?
January 26th.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm writing that down. January 26th.
Is that the final book?
Being August, this past August. Like we wanted to keep them pretty close together, but I didn't realize that I had a window that I had to self-publish around my releases with the publisher, so I had to wait until after November 9 came out to publish that one.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear. Is that so? Never Never is 3 parts. Yeah. Or is it 4?
It'll be done in January.
It'll be done. Awesome.
April was wondering if there's anyone else you'd like to co-author with.
Me?
Yeah. No, us.
Probably not. Probably not, because I mean, Taryn's one of my best friends. We get along really well, and it's really hard to co-author with someone. Like, you're having to be on a creative wavelength with someone else, and it's hard enough to do that by yourself. So I think that Taryn and I work together really well, and I'm just really scared to try that with anyone else, because it's, you know, I've just seen it ruin a lot of friendships, and I don't want that to happen. Luckily, it didn't happen with Taryn and I. So
yeah, it's really personal, because you have to tell somebody, no, what you're doing is not right. I don't think it'll work.
Yeah,
like,
and you know, and on another end, you're looking at the finances for this thing. Like, this ties me and Taryn together until we die, or until this book never sells another copy. So you have to make sure you really like someone, because you're going to have to, on a monthly basis, get together and figure out how much money you owe someone for, you know, how many copies you've sold, and that's a lifelong commitment. It's like a marriage co-author.
And I'm sure you don't want to answer for any of her shenanigans if they ever happen. Like, I don't know. Take her name off the books.
No, but you know, I lucked out. Like, Taryn and I get along really well, as much as we, you know, also hate each other. But I would co-write with her again in a minute. You know, I really would. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
How did you get to know her?
Sure.
How did you guys get to know each other and become friends?
He reviewed Slammed on Goodreads right after I self-published it.
Wow.
And you know me, I Goodreads, so I saw her review, and then I saw some of her other reviews, and y'all know Taryn, like, she can be mean, but she loved Slam, gave it 5 stars, and so I saw that she was an author, so then I read her book. She just had the opportunity out at the time, and then after that,
we need to take another moment for that trilogy.
Wait, what? Which one?
Taryn.
For The Opportunist, for Caleb.
Yeah, Love Me with Lies, that trilogy. Just take a moment. If you haven't read it yet, the first one is like free or 99 cents. And then you're gonna hate life. I'm telling you, you're gonna hate people, because I don't know. You're gonna hate people, and then
I've been reading Fuck Love as she's been writing it. I'm super excited about this one.
Yeah. Well, I got all the way through to the to the 3rd book. I read them as they came out. The Love Me with Lies, Taryn's books, and then I finished Thief, and I was like, thank God, which is like, thank you, I can love people again.
Yeah. But after I read that, I messaged her on Facebook and invited her into a writer group that I was in, and we were really good friends for like a year or 2 years. We would see each other at signings and stuff, but I don't think we really became like best friends until about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. I don't know what it was. Like, we've always just kind of been there for each other, and I've always loved her, but I don't know. She grew on me.
What we are getting
the most.
Do what?
Oh, I was just wondering which of your books has sold the most, has been the most successful.
Hopeless. By
Hopeless.
far.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite.
Well,
Dean is my book boyfriend.
It's also, I still own the rights to that one, so I'm able to price it really low. Right now it's $2.99, so that may be a big difference, because you know the publisher prices my books at $7.99, and a lot of people can't afford that. So I don't know if it has to do with the book or the pricing or what, but it's probably 10 times more than any of my other books.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Does anybody else have any last questions they want?
I do have a question from somebody else on or from the same person on Facebook. Apparently, you mentioned an international tour on your website, and she wants to know more about that.
I'm pretty sure. I hope I've updated it. I'm not doing anything this year internationally, but next year I'll be doing Germany and France that I know of. I don't have set dates for those, but as soon as I get them, they'll be up. Because I was supposed to go to Germany and France this year, and both times something came up and I couldn't travel. But hopefully next year everything will be smooth. And but that's all I've been invited to. The thing is, people keep, they want me to go all these places, but they don't understand. I'm with a publisher, and my books are published with a publisher in these countries, so I can't just go and say, hey, I'm going to do a signing here. Like, they have to invite me to do signings at stores, and they set them up. So I can't go unless I'm invited. Like, if I could go to every country, I would be there. Especially Australia. Like, I want to go there really bad, but so far, like, I don't think I sell very well in Australia, so I just haven't been able to go yet.
Well, this person's from the UK, so this person's from the UK, so she was curious if you were going over there.
Well, I feel like if I'm doing France and Germany, UK would be a great one to throw in there, so maybe my publishers will see this and bring me.
Well, thank you so much, Colleen, for spending some time with us. And I'm really excited to be able to tell people that they should go and get, or they should have already pre-ordered November 9, because it is really that good. So it is good.
I'm super excited. I mean, like, I've been excited about releases before. I'm mostly nervous. I mostly don't want people to read it because I always want to change something. But I'm really, this has been the most excited I've been for a release, and it's probably obvious because I keep talking about it.
Well, it deserves it because it's really, really excellent. We gave it 5 stars, just saying. So I just want to thank you again, and thank everybody else who came, everybody down there.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
This was fun.
Well, good. I'm glad. Yay. And we will talk to you later. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.